True. Nervous. Very, very dreadfully nervous. I had been and am. During the whole of a dull, dark, and soundless day in the autumn. I was sick. When the sick unto death with that long agony. That the play, deep is the tragedy. Into that darkness man, peering. And its hero. And in my death, worm. See by this image, which is thine own, how utterly thou hast murdered thyself.
Mr. Griswold. Mr. Griswold. The beginning. You have no beginning, sir.
Edgar Allan Poe is dead. He died in Baltimore the day before yesterday. This announcement will startle many, but few will be grieved by it. The poet was well known personally or by reputation in all of this country. He had readers in England and in several of the states of continental Europe. but he had few or no friends. And the regrets of his death will be suggested principally by the consideration that in him, literary art lost one of its most brilliant but erratic stars.
I have heard this moment of the death of my dear son Edgar. I cannot believe it, and have written to you to try and ascertain the fact and particulars. He has been at the South for the last 3 months and was on his way home. The paper states he died in Baltimore yesterday. If it is true, God have mercy on me, for he was the last I had to cling to and love. Will you write the instant you receive this and relieve this dreadful uncertainty? My mind is prepared to hear all. Conceal nothing from me.
I thought that the Poe name might reach a summit and blot out all that was notorious. And the Poe name will be forever blackened with insanity and debauchery.
I have this morning heard of the death of my darling Eddie. Can you give me any circumstances or particulars? I need not ask you to notice his death and to speak well of him. I know you will. But say what an affectionate son he was to me, his poor desolate mother.
Unusually cold for this time of year. Yep. Cold morning. Cold as the grave. Cold makes you feel alive. Here. This'll warm you. No? Well, I myself have been known to pull a cork on the hottest day in July. It'll put fire in your belly.
No. Thank you. I made a promise, and I must keep it.
Sworn off it for the wife, have you? Well, it's good to be married, huh? But take it from me. You've got to be allowed to be yourself, to enjoy the little time that the Lord gave us. Now, how long you been married?
I'm not. She's dead.
Oh, a widower. Well, I'm very sorry.
I hope to be married again very soon. After I put some business affairs in order.
Ah, a businessman. I knew it. I sussed it out the minute I clapped eyes on you. You had me worried there a minute ago, though.
What do you mean?
We fell asleep. You were talking.
Oh, no.
It didn't make much sense, though.
When will you return, Eddie?
Soon. A month at most. Once I have secured...
Are you well,
the
friend?
That
magazine.
long?
Here.
Bless you so much.
You want to snort? It'll make you feel better.
Bless you so much.
Thank you. No.
So, what's your business in Baltimore, if you don't mind the question?
I'm going back to New York. My business was here in Richmond. I, going to ask my childhood sweetheart
I love you, Eddie.
to marry me.
I'll be hung from the smokehouse and dry by Tuesday. My sincerest congratulations, friend. Oh, by the way, did she say yes?
I must first secure my future. This new venture that I'm raising money for has been difficult, to say the least.
It's never easy, friend. What's the business? Shipping, tobacco? My family, we farm tobacco. What is your trade? How much will you be needing?
Well, it's not what you think. At least, I think it's not what you're thinking. I've had some small success in the past with, publishing.
You mean books and such?
Yes, poems, tales, criticism and editorial work for magazines, really.
Morning, gentlemen.
Let me,
I follow.
pay you for my fare.
Magazines.
Yes, other people's magazines. I, never one of my own. You'll be well soon. Never one of my own that I can shape and build. Well, forgive me. I'm certain that none of this is of interest to you.
Morning, gentlemen. Boat will be ready to board in a few minutes.
How about damn time. Unusually cold for this time of year, huh?
I've seen colder out on the water.
Let me, pay you for my fare.
Well, sir, you already paid your fare once, but if you want to pay it again, I won't stop you.
Tell you what I'm gonna do for you, friend. How long are you in Baltimore?
Not at all, just enough to get the train to New York.
Well, then do yourself a favor. These are businessmen, good men, friends of mine. You look them up. Tell them about your magazine. You got nothing to lose, except a little time in Baltimore.
Thank you. Thank you. However can I repay you for this kindness?
Consider it a wedding gift, friend.
Mrs. Maria Clemm, New York. My own dearest Muddy. I have been so ill. For more than 10 days, although I was not drinking one drop. And during this interval, I imagined the most horrible calamities. All was hallucination, arising from an attack which I had never before experienced. I can barely put pen to paper. How I miss our darling Virginia. Can we but die together? It is no use to reason with me now. I have no desire to live. You, my father's sister, a father I have never known. For your sake it would be sweet to live. You have been all to me, darling. Ever-beloved mother and truest friend. I have been taken to prison once since I came here for being drunk, but then I was not. I was never really insane, except where my heart was touched. It was about Virginia. Your own Eddie. Good morning. Are you the landlord?
Hey, Ma! There's a man here about the room.
Madam, I'd like to rent a room for the night. I have been traveling from Richmond. I trust that you can accommodate me.
Come in.
I have decided to stay one more night.
Good. Until the day after tomorrow, then.
These are businessmen, good men, friends of mine.
And, to conclude, that is the magazine that I wish to publish. That is what the stylus will be, an American voice, for American writers and poets to show our British and French cousins that we have produced great works of literary art. Mr. Wainwright, my past record as an editor has amply demonstrated that subscriptions always increase once I took up the reins.
It's very exciting, Mr. Poe. Now, if I were to put up the money for the magazine, would I be named as publisher?
I'm certain that we could find an arrangement that would be mutually agreeable.
Well, how much money have you raised, Mr. Poe?
Well, I've only just begun, and have been very selective as to the people I've shown the prospectus to.
How much?
I'm happy to tell you that I have nearly $200 collected to date.
We've got quite a way to go, haven't we?
Not if people such as yourself have a vision of what the stylus will be, Mr. Wainwright.
Oh, I can see the magazine very clearly, Mr. Poe. But I'm afraid I don't make all the financial decisions myself. My brother is my business partner, and I won't be able to put up this much money without his approval. One moment. Zachariah! Mr. Poe, might the magazine be called the Wainwright Journal? Now, my brother Zachariah may be more inclined to agree to this venture if the magazine is named after the family.
Change the name of the magazine.
Oh, that's a minor detail. We can discuss that later. I've got it. Would you recite the Raven? If Zach were to walk in and see Mr. Poe reciting his famous poem, that is sure to make an impression.
The Raven, I'd be delighted if that's what you think will win him over.
The very thing. I think he's coming now.
Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary.
Ah, Zach. This is Edgar Allan Poe. We're going to publish a magazine with him. Not with Father's money, we're not. Good day, Mr. Poe. Zachariah, this is a wonderful opportunity for me. We'll have no argument. No argument from me. We're not spending a penny. But Mr. Poe has agreed to call it the Wainwright Journal. What about that? Well, what about it? I wish him well with it. But he won't be getting any of the Wainwright money to do it. Damn it now! This is something I'm keen on, and I won't have you spoil this. Thaddeus, I'm not spoiling anything. We won't embark on another financial fiasco Not as long as I'm able to breathe. And that's the end of it.
I have decided to stay one more night.
Good. Until the day after tomorrow, then.
No, just tonight. The extra money is for the meal.
You already made arrangements, sir.
I have.
This morning?
This morning. I don't remember. Thank you. The disease had sharpened my senses, not destroyed, not dulled them. Is this your heart speaking? And she was a child, and I was a child in this kingdom by the sea. Come play with me. And she was a child.
Get him on the wagon.
Get the wagon, boys.
Everyone. I read them to Muddy.
My darling,
think so.
Mrs. Rest now, darling.
Play with me, Eddie.
Don't speak.
Play with me.
Rest now.
Come play with me, Eddie. Come play with me, Eddie.
Rest.
Everyone. I read them to Muddy.
My darling,
think so.
Mrs. Rest now, darling.
Come play with me, Eddie.
Don't speak.
Play with me.
Rest now.
Come play with me, Eddie.
Rest now, darling. Don't speak. My own beloved mother, all is not lost yet, and the darkest hour is just before daylight. All may yet go well. I will put forth all my energies. When I get my mind a little more composed, I will try to write something. Richmond received me with so much enthusiasm. The papers have done nothing but praise me before the lecture and since. Everybody says that if I lecture again and put the tickets at 50 cents, I will clear $100. Your own Eddie.
And so, you see, the stylus will be a leading example, a beacon to all who seek the best in American literature. A voice, if you will.
A voice, say you, Mr. Poe. For who?
Well, the critic, sir. In turn, he will serve the reader in creating within the magazine, in the magazine's pages, a forum where the artist, or the voice again, if you will, of true American literature may...
You say you're Irish? That right, Mr. Poe?
Yes, my grandfather, on my father's side, came over. Served in the war, and he was Assistant Deputy Quartermaster General for the city in 17...
Ah, man of practical purpose. I won't be putting money into your magazine, Mr. Poe. That'll be me final word on that subject. But I may be a wee bit inclined to stand behind a newsprint of practical purpose. You should take a page from your grandfather's book, Mr. Poe, and devote your time to giving the people what they want. Literature? Bah! What the people really crave is a belly full of warm food, a strong shelter overhead, and a wage to feed their starving young ones. See what is happening here now. Take the Negro problem. Now, the Irish have been here at least as long, but every day in the streets, on the docks, your Irish brothers have got to fight for work that the so-called free blacks are taking from them. You wouldn't be one of those abolitionists, no, are you?
I have always said that...
Because if you were, I'd embrace you, sir, and drink with you for the spirit of the war that you're waging. But I'd fight you to defend me and my Irish brothers' right to work in America as well. Now there's the door, and good day to you, Mr. Poe.
I wrote you from Richmond more than 10 days ago. I cannot tell you how anxious I have been. Elmira has just got home from the country. I spent last evening with her. I think she loves me. Nothing is yet definitely settled. It will not do to hurry matters. The papers here are praising me to death, and I have been received everywhere with enthusiasm. Be sure and preserve all of the printed scraps I have sent you. Eddie.
I won't be putting money in your magazine, Mr. That'll be the final word. to stand behind the record. Take a page of grandfather's book and devote time to give it a literature, what the people really crave. A strong shelter overhead, and a wage. See what has happened here.
I'm trying to tell you.
Take the knee.
And in conclusion, the magazine will be a fine magazine. I want to read this magazine. It will have Irish in it. That is, I mean to say, will you help me?
Mr. Poe, I would love to help you with this endeavor, this artistic endeavor, but, well, how can I put this? Business is not quite what it used to be.
Thank you, sir. Thank you and your lovely daughter.
However, we might be able to do some business together. My daughter is very talented. Not quite in your realm, of course, Mr. Poe, but she has shown a little talent for poetry. And would you be so kind as to critique her? Daughter, recite for Mr. Poe.
There once was a woman of Baltimore who loved a man she could no more. Her heart all aflutter like a butterfly in butter. 'Twas broken, this heart of a mother.
Perhaps if you'd be willing to publish my daughter, we could do some business.
Words fail.
Is there a problem, sir?
I've decided to stay yet another night. I've already informed you of this. I've already paid you. Good. I simply wanted to be clear. I paid you, did I? Personally? I won't take my supper in the room tonight. I'll be dining in the tavern.
You've already left your instructions, sir.
I have. Yes, I just wanted to be certain there was no confusion. Thank you.
Are very financially difficult. Subscriptions, Mr. Poe. Literature. No, of course not. No, of course course not, Mr. Allan. What you said. A talent. Not Mr. John Allan. Of course not. Money. No, I see. None of it's just not a I see. That's wonderful. I see. That's so wonderful. I see. Yes, if only. I see. I know. I see. I see. I know. I agree with you. I'm trying to tell you. Why wouldn't I agree? I'm simply trying to say that. No, I'm sorry. Why wouldn't I listen? But you don't understand. Of course I will listen. It will be. It will be. Listen to you. It will be great. It will be a monument.
Eddie Perry. It is you, Eddie. The eyes, unmistakable. Caleb. Caleb Jones. West Point. Class of 29.
Ah, yes, Caleb.
Horace. I knew this was Eddie. A sharp at cards he was. Horace Wilson. Edgar Perry.
Pleasure, Mr. Perry. Pleasure.
Mr. Wilson.
Horace.
Horace. In truth, Mr. Jones, my name is Poe. That name I gave it, West Point.
To the class of 29. Come on, have a drink with us, Eddie.
Forgive me, gentlemen. I've taken an oath.
What was that?
The man says he's taking an oath.
Well, you see, in Richmond,
Never to drink again, Edgar.
there's a woman.
A woman.
I've sworn never to touch a drop.
Damn temperance society, I'd say. Eddie. Raise a cup to Colonel Drayton. To the boys at Fort Monroe. So what's this with your name, then?
My name is Poe. Edgar Poe. And please forgive me, but, I don't remember you, friend.
You're not Eddie Perry? I was certain as the sun it was you.
Oh, no, I am Edgar Perry. I mean, I was Edgar Perry, at West Point, anyway, for 2 miserable years. I mean, how can I begin to explain a moment of madness so long ago?
Perhaps we should leave you, friend.
I was Edgar Perry, Sergeant Major Edgar Perry, for 2 years. 2 miserable years. Whatever was I thinking?
Eddie Perry. I won a great deal of money from him at cards. His reputation with the ladies was enviable. It was probably all that poetry you wrote.
Yes, that's me. Edgar Poe, author, magazine editor.
In the midst of a great man. The Raven, The Telltale Heart.
That's you? You wrote The Raven?
Yes, that's me. No doubt you've read it.
No, I haven't.
Follow me. Perhaps you would like to help a classmate in need. I'm publishing a new magazine. I have a prospectus in my room, and I should very much like it if, for Old Lang Syne, as you put it, if I might share it with you.
You mean to say, you're asking for money from us?
Oh, yes, but there isn't very much needed. I have $1,000 now. I have a prospectus in my room. I could go up and fetch it. You'll excuse me, gentlemen.
Follow me.
Strange lot, you West Pointers. One moment it's all lang syne. The next, he's got his hand in our pocket.
Follow me. Now is the time.
Who are you?
It is time. I am. Oh. There is nothing more here.
What do you want with me?
Follow me.
Where are you taking me? Where are you taking me? I have so much to do. I have so much work yet to do.
You belong dead. I died when Virginia died.
Oh, God. I have so much work to do. Stop it. Stop it.
20 years ago.
Get out of my head. You're not real.
Your best cause. We are alone. You wrote 20 years ago. Nothing is real.
Please.
Nothing. Nothing.
Please. You must tell me. Who are you?
Get him on the wagon.
Get the wagon, boys.
These are new ones? Yes, sir. Came in just this morning.
Good enough. Fresh meat. Good enough.
Jesus Christ. This one's dead.
Dead one?
You heard right.
You want him on the wagon, boss?
No, ass. Leave him here. Maybe the others will eat him. All right. Get him on the wagon.
Get the wagon, boys.
They ain't paying me enough for this labor. All right, now these ones here, the dandies, divide them up on this side. Divide these others up on that side. And then when we come back, we'll bring their clothes, put them on them, and get them all shaved up. You understand?
Yeah, you can leave it to me, boss.
Get the bigger flowing, boys. It's election day. Come on.
It's back here, Cornelius.
What's all this? I try to keep drunks out, not collect them in my office. I called for a doctor. This man needs help. Outside with your friend. This is Edgar Allan Poe. Well, I'll be a son of a bitch. Are you certain? That's what he called himself. He smells something awful. He was in the gutter. I pulled him out of the street. This man needs help.
Who are you?
Bill Shakespeare, and he'll cart him in my place. Ow! Ow! Dr. Snodgrass.
Me.
This is the man I called you about. He claims to be Poe. Good Lord. That's him. The very man. What happened? That's Poe? Yes, sir. I was on my way to vote. He was lying in the street. So I brought him here, called for your assistance. He mentioned you by name.
He has family here in town. Have you sent for them?
He has family here in town. Look at the coat here on this one. That is a nice coat.
Take the damn coat then and stop discussing every damn thing. And come on, let's get this loaded on the wagon.
Boys, get this group up to the 4th Ward. It's election day, gentlemen. Come on. Election day.
Get up. Come on now, let's go. Come on.
All right, you motherless sons. Your duty here is almost done.
All right, boys, get it going.
Let's get this other bunch out of here before the polls close.
I thought he said something, sir.
He's just drunk, that's all. Another please, my friend.
Is his cousin here? Have we gotten word?
He's fine there. Just let him sleep it off.
Doctor, the man is cold as ice. Where is he? There. What happened? Are you his cousin, sir?
No, Henry Herring.
Sir, could you please convey him to a bed?
Won't listen
My
to
professional opinion, Mr.
They won't listen to anything.
I'm sorry, Doctor, is that all? I really must be going.
One moment, Mr.
Walker. Joseph Walker.
Mr. Walker.
My legs.
Hire a carriage. He's going to the hospital.
Cold. So cold.
He'd be better off here upstairs in the bed.
Let him sleep in the bed.
I will not repeat the past with this wretched. The demon drink doesn't kill him.
We'll take him over to Washington Hospital. We'll take him over to Washington Hospital.
I had no idea that he was in Baltimore. The last I heard, he was in New York.
Have a drink, Mr. Herring.
No, thank you, sir. No, thank you, sir. Where have you been?
Your carriage is here, Mr. Herring.
Where have you been, you poor bastard?
Firmly.
Dr. Moran. Mrs. Moran is here, sir.
Won't be long, dear. Hold him firmly, Thomas.
John!
Not long now, Mrs. Moran.
Edgar Allan Poe.
American author, The Raven, Annabel Lee.
Yes, dear. He's here.
He's here,
Yes, dear.
visiting someone.
No. He's just been brought in. As a patient.
Thomas, see to Mr. Charles. I'll be back in a moment. Attendant! See to that man. Mr. Poe.
This way.
Mr. Poe? My God. What's happened to him?
Are you Moran?
Dr. Moran, resident physician. Has he said anything at all?
Just his name. Nothing else I can understand.
And who are you?
I'm Dr. Snodgrass. Walker here called me. He's just inebriated, that's all.
Just needs a good drying out, he does.
And you are?
Henry Herring. I'm this poor wretch's uncle. By marriage.
Mrs. Moran, hold the attendants.
He just needs a good drying out.
A man has a cut in his head. Mrs. Moran, I'm going to move Mr. Poe at once. See to my things. Find some clean clothing for Mr. Poe.
What is this going to cost? The man doesn't have any money.
Our rates are reasonable. $7 a week.
$7? We could put him in Alba's hotel for that. Who's going to pay for this?
I don't know what to do for him.
I know.
He's suffering from some sort of dementia.
I am positive that there was no evidence whatsoever of any such violence having been used upon his person when I went to his rescue at the tavern, nor was there any given at the hospital where its detection would have been certain if external violence had really been the cause of his insanity, for there would have been some physical traces
illness I can't treat.
The patient's person.
Encephalitis, inflammation of the brain.
He has a visitor. I believe the gentleman is family.
Neilson Poe. Dr. Moran sent for me.
I'm Mrs. Moran.
How do you do, ma'am?
Well, thank you, Mr. Poe.
Well, shall we see him? How is he?
I'm sorry, but Dr. Moran has ordered that he not receive any visitors today. Perhaps tomorrow.
Not receiving visitors.
Well, he's been very agitated. It's best that he try to sleep.
What's wrong with him? I was told that he was brought here drunk, insensible.
It's difficult to say. Your brother...
Cousin.
Your cousin has not said much. I will convey to your cousin your concern for his welfare and that you called on him.
Perhaps it's best if you say nothing.
I beg your pardon?
You say Edgar's agitated.
Well, the first night he slept. But since then, he's had violent tremors and fits. And sometimes he stares vacantly. And when he does speak, he raves. And what he says doesn't make any sense.
I see. Then perhaps it's best that I not see him at all. Until he recovers.
Whatever you wish, Mr. Poe.
Mrs. Moran, make no mention of my visit. That's best. I've taken much of your time.
Not at all, Mr. Poe.
Is he dying?
I don't know. It's in the Lord's hands. And in the Lord we have hope.
Mrs. Moran, this is rather an indelicate question, but... Forgive my boldness. The rumors, the stories about the medical school, is there any truth to them?
What stories are these?
The body snatching, the selling of corpses to professors and students.
It is difficult enough, Mr. Poe, without these unfortunate lies blemishing the hospital's reputation.
Forgive me. One hears things. And as you say, it is in the Lord's hands.
You'll be well soon.
Mr. Poe? Mr. Poe? Do you know who I am or where you are?
You're the doctor.
Yes. Yes, I'm the doctor. Dr. Moran. Do you know where you are? You're in Baltimore. Washington Medical College.
Not New York.
No. No. You've been in Baltimore about a week or so. And before that, you were in Richmond.
Richmond.
Yes.
My wife is in Richmond.
Oh, your wife?
Yes.
That's good. Good to have that. Because now what happened, Mr. Poe? You were brought in here by a few people. No, it's all right. It's all right. Let me help you. Let me help you. There you go. There you go.
You'll be well.
Right. No, it's all right. It's all right. Let me help you. Let me help you. There you go. There you go. Right. So you just rest now. Don't worry. You'll soon be with your friends and family.
Mr. Poe. Mr. Poe. Over the last several days, I had hoped for some improvement. Are you resolved that you will not see him?
I brought him these.
They will be appreciated. Are you sure you will not see your cousin? Perhaps a member of his own family will...
Family? No, I'm afraid I will only disturb him. We've never been on good terms. Especially after he married my wife's half-sister, Virginia, a child of 13. That irresponsible, he led her into a life of poverty. She died of consumption 2 years ago. He killed her.
You have confided in me, Mr. Poe. Your feelings shall remain with me alone.
Thank you. Please, no mention to him that I was here. The family, the Poes, mind you, were always fearful that our name would someday be tainted by Edgar's drinking, his debts, the ways of his youth. We're the same age, you know. But he will die here, won't he?
them by the sea. We loved us more than
Marriage? Darling Edgar, just give me time to think it over.
Once we were betrothed.
We were children then.
Is this your heart speaking?
I'm afraid to speak my heart. My family. I must think of my family, Edgar.
Your brothers hate me that much.
I am recently a widow, and my family is here.
What did you do today?
I've read the new books that you gave to me.
All of them.
Every one. I read them to Muddy.
Did she enjoy your recitations?
I think so. Dear Eddie, ever with thee I wish to roam. Dearest, my life is thine. Love shall heal my weakened lungs, and we'll hide from the world and spend many hours together, ever peaceful and blissful. Your dearest love, Virginia.
Rest now, darling.
I'm so very tired.
Don't speak. Rest now. Rest.
I'm going to die, Eddie.
Has there been improvement?
Some. I'm very hopeful. Oh, I have spoken to him.
And?
It's best wait for now.
Here's your money. For 1 week.
Give it to the clerk on the second floor, front office.
I hear you've refused him visitors.
It's best for now.
And yet you're hopeful.
Perhaps. I can allow one visitor. His wife. Can you bring her up from Richmond?
His wife?
Yes.
His wife is dead. She's been dead for years.
It is my opinion that Poe will die from excessive nervous prostration and the loss of nerve power as a result of exposure, which has affected the encephalon, a sensitive and delicate membrane of the brain.
Note the twist in the patient's face, suggesting a lesion or lesions on the brain, the consequence of which is fever, delirium, and madness. It is certain that the patient has a weakened constitution brought on by some previous unknown illness.
You should come to bed.
I can't sleep. I don't know what to do for him.
I know.
He's suffering from some sort of dementia. Some illness I can't treat. encephalitis, inflammation of the brain.
Well, let's sleep, John. You can't help anyone if you ruin your own health.
I'll be to bed soon.
Now.
Gonna die. I don't want to be known as the doctor who watched helplessly at the death of Poe. You're Dr. John J. Moran, late of the Washington Medical College. That I am. So, you're the man that killed Edgar and Poe, are you?
John, you've done so much good. This is in the Lord's hands. Perhaps one of the senior physicians could take his case.
Oh, that'll make me look good in their eyes. I don't know which is worse.
Have hope, dear.
I have you to hope for both of us. Oh, and me just out of medical school and...
And you're one of the finest doctors here, or anywhere. Now, let's not have any of that law and politics nonsense. You're a fine doctor. And it's a doctor that I married, not a politician. Now, we'll have no more of this. And it's time to sleep.
Time to sleep? Although, the Right Honourable Mayor John J. Moran has a nice taste to it, doesn't it? Lord, help his poor soul.
Mr. Griswold, Mr. Griswold, the beginning. You have no beginning, sir.
Edgar Allan Poe is dead. He died in Baltimore the day before yesterday. This announcement will startle many, but few will be grieved by it. The poet was well known personally or by reputation in all of this country. He had readers in England.
From childhood's hour I have not been as others were. I have not seen as others saw. I could not bring my passions from a common spring. From the same source I have not taken my sorrow. I could not awaken my heart to joy at the same tone, and all I loved alone. Then, in my childhood, in the dawn of a most stormy life, was drawn from every depth of good and ill the mystery which binds me still. From the torrent or the fountain, from the red cliff of the mountain, from the sun that round me rolled in its autumn tint of gold, from the lightning in the sky as it passed me flying by, from the thunder and the storm and the cloud that took the form, when the rest of heaven was blue, of a demon in my view.